6 o'clock, and I stream at about 9 o'clock, so 7 o'clock or something.
But of course, it's all confusing at the moment because the time zones are wobbling around a bit, aren't they? Because you're now on summertime.
Yeah.
Yep. We're still summertime. It's all confusing at the moment because
Yeah.
what happened there?
That was. We are going out on YouTube now. It suddenly came through on my browser. No, well, so that'll be. Yeah. Well, and they robbed us an hour.
Yeah. But we don't go back. The Americans go back about halfway through the month, and then we go back at the end of the month.
Okay. Obviously, we don't go back for a while, so.
Well, that's because that. So what happens is other than for October, generally times during our summer, you would be going live at 12.
Yeah.
For me. And then during our winter, you'll be going live at 10.
Okay. I know it's about midday. That's all how I was thinking about it. So. Yeah, where's this thing gone? I was watching.
How can I have a big echo when
I don't know.
What's that got now?
A big echo. I don't know, because my stream's a few seconds behind.
Well, I've got the stream muted.
Ah, okay. So it's not that. Okay. So I can't imagine. I've got this. So this is leaky in two, and I can't imagine Brian's going to bring anything actually useful. Let's see. I'll go back to here. It's about where he's actually starting.
1997. Yeah. Is that your torso?
All right, man.
Legs?
What you got in the background is a balloon. This was my tube. This doesn't really matter, but I mean, since I ran 70 foot of tube, this really doesn't have much to do with my demonstration. I got a limp balloon, 2 limp balloons.
Yeah. I thought it was, but I'm not.
Pipes wrapping around about 70 feet, and I did one hot and one side cold to show a pressure gradient and containment, but that's not anything having to do with my debate, but it is in the background a little bit, so I figured I'd say that. But tell me if y'all can hear this. In this debate, I'm going to show the difference between the flat Earth and the globe Earth. The flat Earth shows.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Carry on. Those demonstrations. All of our claims, we show examples, and we show real-world demonstrations. They ask for numbers and equations, which they cannot demonstrate. So the equations are worthless. The numbers are worthless if you can't demonstrate it in real life. For example, when we show long-distance observations or mirror flashes or lasers that would be impossible on a globe, they give us 7/6R.
They're usually not impossible on a globe.
In different equations. When we ask them to demonstrate it in real life, they give us sugar water in a fish tank. So when they try to demonstrate it, it literally shows obstruction or limits vision backing up.
Well, he's sugar water in a fish tank. It's one he shows all the time.
A flat Earth. It's ridiculous. So in my opener, I'm going to show a few of them said examples. And I would ask my opponent to give us real-world demonstrations of any of your claims, and not just mathematics. We don't care about the mathematics until you can show it working in reality. So if you can't show it working in real life,
you're not showing it to us again, Timbo.
Huh. Should be. There we go. Ooh. Paul's changed his background. Very cool. You should have it now. So
Yeah.
he's got this silly thing. He hasn't shown much.
It's not an explanation until you can show it. So I'm going to ask MC Toon to table the math for a minute, show us real world examples of
Gas pressure gradient
ever.
and containment, and demonstrate it. How is that gas pressure gradient in containment?
I think
Well,
it's a
it's
silk container.
Well, looks like he's just got a balloon at the end of a
Is that your
pipe.
All right,
torso
man.
legs?
That's all I can see.
You see, what you got in the background is a balloon. This was my tube. This doesn't really matter, but I mean, since I ran 70 foot of tube, this really doesn't have much to do with my demonstration. It is. I got a limp balloon, 2 limp balloons of C pipes wrapping around about 70 feet, and I did one hot and one side cold to show a pressure gradient and containment, but that's not anything having to do with my debate, but it is in the background a little bit, so I figured I'd say that. But tell me if y'all can hear this. In this debate, I'm going to show the difference between the flat Earth and the globe Earth. The flat Earth shows.
I can hear it, yeah.
I'll do this bit already.
Carry on.
It's got the light. It made the sun set, first of all. There's that refraction
Okay,
of the clouds in this example. The atmosphere really is acting like a lens. According to the experts, say the bottom of this little stand here represents the bottom of the clouds. And so as you can see here, the light is way above, it's well above what would be the bottom of the clouds in this example. So let's see what happens. I turned off the lights and set my iPhone to record, and I'm showing myself here recording all of this with another camera, and I pulled the light back on the table, and watch what happens here. Ooh, check it out. There's that refraction taking place again. It's got the light. It made the sun set, first of all, below the horizon in this case. And let's just show this. And the platform represents the bottom of the clouds. So the sun's going down. And oop, there it is. The bottom of the clouds illuminated by a light source that's well above the clouds.
But for anybody who hadn't seen it, with just atmospheric lensing.
This is all old stuff, isn't it?
You have the sun dropping in.
Just seeing stuff. He's been showing this stuff for at least a couple of years. Nothing new there. And they were wrong first time he showed it.
Yeah. I mean, the atmosphere doesn't behave like that kind of lens. Not at all.
And you have to get... Yeah, that's right. Well, an atmosphere isn't that... Isn't that only a fairly thin lens he's using? Sorry, just trying to flick back.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere is not a thin lens between us and the sun.
No. So
I mean, we literally reside within the atmosphere. We don't. In his example, is he inside the lens? No.
It's a very specific purpose to get that one specific result. You'd have to have this column of. Actually, I don't know how you could do that in the atmosphere.
I mean, just because they've heard the term atmospheric lensing, they think the atmosphere behaves like a concave or a convex lens. And it just doesn't.
Timbo, apparently we're still echoing.
Echoing, are we? How can we?
At least to them out there. We're not. I can't hear. They can.
No, we have a set fine in here.
Are we?
I suspect it's because I've got this button turned on. Hang on, let's see if I work it out. Let me try turning that one off. You guys talk for a sec. And we'll see if
Are we any
we're
better?
echoing. Is that any better to anyone? I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't even realise I had anyone out there.
Yeah, we've
Sorry
got
about that.
a few.
A few. Oh, there's people there. I didn't have my usual setup because I was just sort of came out in ad hoc. G'day, guys. Good to see you. Is that better? You can hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, you can't hear
Yes.
me. Hang on a sec. Oh,
I
good. Just
can hear
checking.
you.
I just was worried for a sec I might have turned off the wrong button. Echo should be gone, I'd imagine. I keep forgetting with this new way I've set up OBS that if I have desktop audio and one of the sources turned on, obviously they get, when it goes out to stream, they get 2 copies, but I can't hear that and you guys can't hear that. So, yeah. It's only the stream, people out in YouTube land. Yes, so we were saying that it's sort of like the Lindsay and the other guys with their fish tank and sticking lights on it and then saying, look, you can see reflections in it, so therefore that must be the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you can see reflection, but you can't see reflection from everywhere and doesn't meet every condition. Let's see if he gets into
Did either
anything else.
example approach zero?
Did what approach zero?
The sun example, the white light in the first video, or the picture of the sun, or the flashlight in the second video. Did either of them touch the ground or zero? The horizon is zero.
Yeah, it sure looked like you had placed the light, or whoever had done it, had placed the light right on
It
the
looked
ground.
like it,
Yeah.
but it didn't though, right? It
Yeah.
didn't though, but it did disappear though, right?
Yeah. So what I'm getting is that you think that the sun is lit.
What's that? Sorry, mate.
Are they saying something? Because I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear that. Oh, I can hear that.
No.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate. Yes, they are saying something. How about I try this? I'm going to turn that off. Turn that one on. And turn that one off. And see what happens.
Literally, basically right on the ground for
Is that
flat Earth.
better?
Yeah, I can hear
That's
that.
what
Yeah, I
I'm
can
getting.
hear that. Hear
What
that.
I'm
Yeah.
getting is that the sun right in front of your direct line of sight disappeared. There's 2 examples of how it could work on a flat Earth, plain as day, without the size changes.
Here is for flat Earth. I don't know how this works, but that's quite amazing. That's how I think you're going to have to explain it.
We're off to a bumpy start because I just showed you in the first video with just a little bit of lensing, like they say the atmosphere of the lens, back the sun away. It disappeared and it hit the bottom of the cloud.
So you think so how high is the cloud? How high did you measure the sun to be?
So I can demonstrate something, and in the same debate, you pretend you didn't even see it.
So this object here, if you're above it, it can never ever obscure anything greater than its height. If you're above it, no matter how far or how close it is or how far away it is, it can never ever obscure more than the height of the object. If you're above it, that's why.
It's critical to remember that things below true level will never appear above true level, and things above true level will never appear below true level.
So you tell me this boat is not missing more than whatever this is, 5 foot?
No, it is missing more because the Earth is curved.
This boat might be maybe 2 miles away, bro. And I'm higher than that. I'm like 15 foot high, bro. This is not more than 2-3 miles, and I'm or not higher than 6 foot over the water, Trumpus. So the horizon, that boat is not behind the horizon, and this wave is, I say, 5 foot, exaggerating, it might be 3 foot. It's going to block a lot. I mean, it's going to kind of a second wave, and on another boat, it's going to be blocked a lot. On orthographic view, you got a point, Rumpus.
I could imagine Rumpus going off on that.
Yeah.
He couldn't let that one go.
But when you look in through a first-person point of view, I give this to Randy, for example. He's gonna, I mean, it's here visual. Look at this boat, how much is gonna be hidden by
Well, so you're saying exactly what we're saying, which is on a curved surface, it would do that because the line to the boat is underneath your line of sight.
This boat is not behind the curve because I'm a lot higher than the horizon should dictate for this boat to be behind it. I hope I didn't lose.
You think that's 2 miles away?
Yeah, Jose filmed it a lot, so he kind of knows his location.
Right, that's gone. That building's gone, isn't it? And that building's must have at least one story on it. Yeah. I don't know how big those waves are, but they don't look huge.
No, they're not huge.
What would you think if you took an auto level out and looked through the scope and say 25, say 30 miles away, you still had obviously a water horizon, but the auto level scope is below the water horizon? What would you think of that?
I doubt that it ever would be.
Well, about 5-6 foot it was, actually.
Yeah. And I would not question it at all.
Sorry, you're saying the horizon is below the horizontal, which is what you'd expect?
No, he said the crosshairs of the auto level was below the horizon.
It's critical to remember that things below true level will never appear above true level. And
oh, right. Oh, okay. Sorry. Right. Okay, that is a bit weird. Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
Threw us off completely. It's really weird to me to think that you're 6 foot off the water or so, and that you can have a level scope and look through the scope, and basically the Great Salt Lake has been, loomed up a good amount. I mean, it really doesn't make sense to my mind, truthfully. It's looming up if the water's looming up, and it's covering part of the mountain. Like it threw me for a loop, really.
So how would you explain in your model, what would it take for the crosshair to block half a mountain and appear below the water horizon, as exampled by myself and by George Notchek's Ice Lake measurement, and by Jessica Kozlowski and Tim Osmond's Great Salt Lake Strong's Knob measurements at like 7 foot above the Great Salt Lake. So it's not that rare. But how does the globe model explain that?
I'm not familiar with your particular example. I have seen George Natchik's thing. So I have seen George Natchik's thing. So you're
Does
saying
this? I don't know what
how
that's
is it
supposed
that
to
if
help.
you're several feet above the water, that the crosshairs can be below the horizon? Yeah. So the way when light goes through a gradient, pressure goes through a gradient, it curves, and that curve has a radius. If that radius is larger than the radius of the Earth, then it will make something appear slightly higher. If that radius is smaller than the radius of the Earth, then it can cause distant objects to appear higher.
I wonder why we say they're dishonest,
Yeah.
Make it so you can't hear the response.
Significantly higher. So, for example, the horizon can appear higher. Then it can cause distant objects to appear higher, significantly higher. So, for example, the horizon can appear higher.
I just 1 second.
There's more?
Sharon? No, that was it. And that was I wanted to show that because Toon had claimed that, in a recent video that he made that just to all Glober examples, except Ranty made a comment. He was back then during one of my examples, but these are all Globers, Tom Osmond, George Notchek, and then MC Toon even said, yeah, he does recall George Notchek's example. So I wanted to see it. Are you okay with retracting that statement that you made in your recent video that objects below the horizon or can't be blocked? I mean, do you want to retract that now?
I get where you're going with that. I'm trying to unlook at the chat here, or I don't know how to get out of here. Anyway, so you're looking at so you compared the how depth perception works thing that I put up to how the effects of refraction, right? So all right, I need to
yeah, go ahead.
I need to get out of this I want to see the chat, and I can't see the chat. Why can't I switch to the chat? Because I want to post something. Apocryphine,
okay. Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so where you want to post it at? In chat?
I want to put the chat, but I just see the pictures of all the people that are in the room.
Oh, okay. So you have to, yeah. Okay, so you on the main chat.
Still see the.
Okay, so. And if you just, you'll be able. It's easy.
Or I'll admit it. What I do is switching from radiant to
check mark
the screen now. That's got that, so that it's trying to.
Okay.
All right.
Glovers are catching up with technology. Give liberals a catch up. No.
Okay, now it works.
All right.
Good.
Okay, so let me do this. So this, Brian, you showed this with my voice talking about this, right? The one I just posted there, how depth perception works.
I'm sorry?
While I was in your video, you had my voice speaking while this was on screen. And so the thing I just posted, so you can look at it. I'm not sharing my screen. You can just look at the image that I dropped in there.
Where'd you drop it? Because I wasn't trying to misrepresent you. So is there, before we go, are there any claims, if I put in, is there anything that I stated that you don't claim, so I can retract?
Oh dear.
Boy, that's annoying. All right. All right. No, I'm just going to respond to the video. And your very specific question to me. So I'm responding to that. So can you
Okay,
look,
where can I see it? Where can I see it?
It's in the
main chat.
It's in the main
Yes, that's
chat.
right.
It's the highest one there. Maybe that's the wrong one. But I can't
No, I haven't looked. It might be right. I haven't looked there. Hold on, I'm looking right now. Text chat.
Yeah, it used to be different before they did all this, where they made it where you can control like what you see and what you don't see, and you can move the channels yourself. You could put like the text right next to the voice text, or I'm sorry, the text chat next to the voice chat.
It makes
used
sense
to be like
to tie them together somehow, but yeah, it's
like on mine. It makes like I have it set up like good, like it's easy on mine, but you got to set it up though.
Ooh, Sky Hunter.
all right. Are you in there yet, Brian?
I'm not seeing it, man. It's can you repost it?
Are you in main text chat?
Yeah, I just got it. Says welcome to main chat. It says this is the start of main chat.
No.
channel.
You're in the.
It's like, oh yeah, just have a go at Toon because he couldn't do it, but he can't get it either. Come on.
Oh, you're in the wrong one. It says main text chat.
Yeah, that brings me right back to Brian Leak versus MC Toon debate.
So we tagged you in the here. Tag you again.
Brian,
look at the.
You are a little too quick to go after me for not handling the technology.
Yeah. But still okay. I'm gonna hit main chat.
Main text chat.
When I hit that, it just welcomed me. Like, I don't see a main text chat. I really don't. Here it is.
Oh wow!
Now, ta-da! Yes. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Where you say that you want to repeat your claim while that's up, while we're looking at that.
So you had my voiceover talking about this picture. So that was from one of my videos.
Dude, I swear to God on my life, that's from your video. I didn't do any editing on that.
It is 100% from my video. Yes. I have it on my website. I have it on, and I know what page I have it on. I posted the page that I have it on my website. And that's the preview picture for it. So that says this is how depth perception works. This does not include the effects of refraction.
Okay.
So everything
would you like
above,
to repeat? Can you repeat the claim?
Everything
about objects appearing higher.
The claim related to refraction.
Yeah, you said that hold on. In fact, I don't want to misquote you. Give me 1 second if you want to carry on.
I'm not going to carry on while you're not paying attention.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm paying attention.
I can guarantee that.
Pull up your quote, because all I did is play what you said while that was on your screen. I just recorded it.
Yeah.
Out of context.
So what you said is objects can appear higher as if they're lower than than level. But like I said, I want
when this
do
was
the
on
exact
screen,
quote. That's
when this
just that. I wanted to make sure it was exact.
Yeah.
To make sure I just wanted to make sure I get your claim right.
Okay.
So let me go check real quick. If you want to hold, you could keep talking if you want to hold for a second, but I don't want to misquote you. I want to make sure I quote you properly, is all.
I mean,
this would be so tedious.
You just ask me what I mean right now.
Okay, let me save some time. So you do agree that if something is below line of sight, then we can see it, okay? In other words, what Rumpus said is wrong. Is that what you're claiming? If we're above true level, okay, well, elaborate so I know where to even go. Like I said, I don't want to misrepresent you.
The picture's on screen. Now, this does not include the effects of refraction. This is just how, and the title says how depth perception works, but it's more, this is how perspective works. But
that was why I put that, because you said it never happens like that. You said never will we see this and that. It didn't say only if refraction.
I was trying to explain it, Brian, but then somebody interrupted me and stopped me from explaining it, Brian.
Sorry.
All right. Without considering refraction, things that are above the eye converge down. Things that are below the eye converge up, and also left and right. But we're mostly talking about top to bottom. This was something I got years ago from a flat earther. That flat earther posted. So if something is actually below you, perspective says that it will continue to be below you, and if something is actually above you, perspective says that things will continue to be above eye level. Now, that of course still does not include the effects of refraction. So that's very specifically what I mean. This diagram here does a good job of describing it. If for example, the road is below you, and the ceiling, a light on the ceiling is above you, that light on the ceiling will never appear to go below the road.
And you say never, right? Never.
Due to perspective, not accounting for refraction still.
So sometimes then. So, okay, that's what I wanted. I wanted you to clear that up. So when you said something will never go below true level if it's above and in our line of sight, you meant barring refraction or just just refraction is all I need to say. So you didn't mean never then, right?
Yeah, there is always the possibility of confounding variables.
Okay, well, if you want to straighten up your video, that's fine, and just put a side note and go to your website and put a side note that you didn't mean that never. You meant just like geometrically is what you meant, right? Just with your geometry, not never.
Yeah, okay.
Can I share my screen real quick? Just for 2 seconds?
Okay.
Well, is that it? Does it what? Does it what? I don't know if it becomes. I think it may have became
above true level, and things above
a
true
while
level
ago.
will never appear below true level.
If you're off to a good start.
Didn't we just cover this?
All right, super. So you're being pedantic. Got it.
Man, I'm really not trying to be pedantic. I mean, that was a video against flat Earth when we're describing things happening, and when it doesn't line up with the geometry, that's our explanation. If you want to call reality or our demonstrations that we show you or our explanations pedantic, that's kind of coward, ain't it? I mean, that's
you weren't providing an explanation. You were being pedantic about my explanation for things. You weren't presenting your explanation for things.
I gave demonstrations, okay, of a light right in front of the camera.
Brian,
right?
when you were
he doesn't get it, does he?
When you were talking about my words in my video, you were being pedantic about what I was saying.
No, that was you dogging us, saying that never can something be below level, okay? But in your model, okay, it's okay. We've got explanations.
Again, Brian, due to perspective, just perspective, in isolation.
Is that honest?
In isolation, without considering confounding variables, perspective says that things will that are above you will never appear below you.
Fair enough. So when I show something in front of us above zero, above the horizon or above the ground, and I just let a little cold air into play, or if I involve a little bit of magnification, so there's examples of how that is out the window. So when you then make a video afterwards saying never, when you're talking about the sun or anything like that, acting like never, it's not possible, is that honest, too?
Well, yeah, because refraction works against it, it's also a never. Even more so never, because refraction works the opposite
demonstrated
direction.
that we all describe refraction. You say things toward, and then I ask for demonstrations over and over and over for years. We get sugar water in a fish tank, okay? But that doesn't do what you say. You say it makes things appear higher, but 80% of the time, it literally block shit and obstruct shit over a flat bottom fish tank. So you see, you're just making these claims, bro, and I just want to call you out on the honesty of them. They're not honest. When I show you that the bottom of a skyline disappears and you describe refraction working, being that the light bends toward the denser medium, toward the thicker sugar, and not making things appear higher, but literally blocking the bottom of the city skyline, that's called a demonstration, bro. That's what I wanted. I don't want just claims and numbers and horseshit. I want demonstrations like I've gave you.
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, Brian, none of that was said before the debate. So rolling into the debate with Jaron, expecting that I would have these things on the fly, when that wasn't something we discussed. You had very specific things that you were demanding. You can't expect that. I coming into the debate, you never told me that ahead of time, Brian.
I'll give you that. Like, but the fact still, as long as we can clear this up afterwards, I'm good with it, because it doesn't prove a flat Earth. I'm not trying to act like, but I'm just trying to say, when we've got some legitimate arguments and we've got some real world demonstrations that I just think that are being, years later, this is 6-7 ongoing years, and they're not being even acknowledged. And I'm not saying,
do you mean like Rob Skiba's using the wrong side of the lens thing?
Yeah, as far as opening the door. No, the wrong side of the lens was the guy, the meteorologist. He literally used the top of a magnifying glass. So anytime you're looking through the bottom of a lens, like being at ground level,
Brian,
we would be looking through the bottom of the lens, right?
Brian, the top part causes light to bend down. That's why you should use the top part. And when Rob Skiba did it, he used the bottom part of the lens, which causes light to bend up. The opposite of the way it does in the air.
Really? So if we're looking through the lens,
I have Rob Skiba's thing on the floor behind me, behind the bookshelf behind me. I tested.
So you just want to dig your hole. Tell me when I can respond. Shovel away.
I didn't understand you. Your Wi-Fi cut out.
I know you didn't, bro. But so if we're looking through the we're describing as a lens. Are we looking through the bottom of that lens, or are we looking through the top of that lens?
We're not looking through a circular lens, Brian. The atmosphere is not a circular lens.
Circular. So that's just a deflect. It doesn't have to be circular. It could be a square.
Yeah, it's not a circular lens. So if you're going to use a lens as an analog, you need to use the correct portion of the lens as an analog, or get a lens that's even a better analog, which are hard to come by. So a circular lens will do. You just need to use the.
I've got
the part
one, bro. Got one right here, Toon.
Okay.
They're hard to come by. They're not hard to come by, bro.
A circular
lens.
He doesn't listen, does he?
No, it's not
It's
any
lens.
The geometry of the lens matters, Brian. A circular
Right,
lens.
but they all have the same effects, don't they?
No, they don't. They're very different.
He's going to side roll and say, well, you have convection. Bro, get back to the point. I'm not going to let you dodge, okay? The point is if the atmosphere is a lens, we're looking through the bottom of that lens, right?
No, it's not a circular lens. You need to use the correct portion of the lens if you're going to use a circular lens as your analog. Not the bottom. It has to be the top of a circular lens.
What about the lens I have in my hand, Toon?
I can't see your hand. I can't see your hand, Brian.
That's my square lens, bro. You're dodging, acting like the lens has to be bro.
Square lens.
Dude, you're just be honest, dude.
Brian, is it a Fresnel lens?
Why would we look at the top of the lens?
Brian, is it a Fresnel lens?
Yes, I have a Fresnel lens. I have 4 Fresnel lenses. I have 3 different kinds of magnifying glasses. I have the curved mirrors. I've got the whole assortment, bro.
Brian, they're all circular lenses, all of them. Even if it's cut in a square, it's still a circular lens. There's circles on it. You can tell that by looking at the circles on the Fresnel lens. The one that Skiba sells with his kit is a square, circular Fresnel lens. It sounds weird to say that. It's a circular lens.
You're done deflecting. When you're done deflecting, okay.
I'm
so
not
if we're
deflecting, Brian. I'm
comparing
telling you, if
the
you're
lens,
the atmosphere is not a circular lens. It does not act like a circular lens.
how about if I put how do you know? So you're saying we have to go to the top of the lens, and then the circular lens works fine as long as we're looking through the top of.
Yeah. Did you like his argument that because obviously we're at the bottom of the atmosphere, so you got to look at the bottom of the lens.
But the atmosphere is circular.
No, it's not. And we're also not looking at the atmosphere because we're actually in the atmosphere. that's another issue he hasn't quite covered yet. But he does have several lenses and, some binoculars and stuff. So
the lens, which is not what we'd be through in the atmosphere.
The atmosphere causes light to bend down. You need to use the portion of the circular lens that causes light to bend down. What portion of a circular lens causes light to bend down?
Why would I be trying to make shit bend down? I'm to
because that's
demonstrate.
what the atmosphere does.
Oh, dear. Yeah, why would I be trying to? I want it to bend up.
Yeah, yeah. Why would I try and simulate the atmosphere with something that actually simulates the atmosphere?
It's like like the process gets lost, doesn't it? Okay, we want to demonstrate this. So, you can do that with the lens. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we can demonstrate this. Oh, right. Well, any lens. So whatever a lens does must be what. Yeah.
Brian, the air in the atmosphere causes light to bend down. This is Snell's law. The air closer to the ground is more dense and it has a higher index of refraction. Snell's law says that light. I'm not done talking. Snell's law says that light bends towards the higher index of refraction. That's towards the ground. Light in the air bends toward the ground. It bends down.
You're stuck. So we can refer to. So you don't want to talk about the atmosphere being the lens. You want to manipulate it, make it bend away. We're not talking about Snell's law. In my opinion, when we're looking through long distance atmosphere,
Snell's law doesn't apply
to do with it.
Wait, when does Snell's law not apply to refraction, Brian?
You're claiming that look through downwards for the denser medium, like in the fish tank, then everything appears higher. I just showed you that is not demonstrable. When you show that, we don't see everything higher. Like I said, 80% of the times we get blockage from the bottom up and things appear lower.
How did you do an A to B comparison of that? How did you quantify that? I don't hear anything, Brian.
I use your boy Mick West, okay? I showed out it before he added the sugar and after he added the sugar. After he added the sugar, we seen shit lower. Shit, the magnifying light and half of it maybe might appear higher, but everything we were seeing appeared lower. So you got to get your shit straight, bud, because when we're looking through atmosphere,
show the side by side. Then let's see it.
If the atmosphere is the lens, we're not looking through the top of that lens, bro. There's no way out, bro. No way out of that.
Ryan, which portion of a circular lens will cause light to bend down?
The top. So are you saying the atmosphere is a circular lens?
I'm saying it's not a circular lens. Specifically using a circular lens is a little bit of a problem.
It's just like, oh dear, round and round to go.
Because it's not a great analog for the air. But
you see what you're doing?
I'm not done talking. If you're going to insist on using a circular lens, you must use the correct portion of the circular lens that is somewhat of an analog for what happens in the air.
So you want to talk about the atmosphere, make me use a certain part of the lens based off your claim. What I'm claiming is that if we're looking through the atmosphere,
it's Snell's law. It's not a claim. It's how light refracts.
It's the same medium. Right. It's the same medium. Okay, so here's the thing. If we're looking through the atmosphere, are we looking through the top of the lens or the bottom of the lens? Just fuck all of the magnifying glass. Just what part of the lens are we looking through if we're looking through the atmosphere? Because
we're looking through the atmosphere, Brian. That's what you're doing. Looking through the lens.
It's just is ironic that when you get half a mile up, and there's papers from NASA to back this up, we don't get bottom up obstruction from half a mile or higher. We don't see mountains in the half a mile high.
Why?
Oh my God. Yeah, when you're suddenly well above the
obstruction because oh my god.
Because now we don't get bottom up obstruction because we're now so high we can see the object. Oh dear.
Blocked in the background. Is that just like another coincidence or what, bro?
Post the link to what you're talking about in the text chat there so we can look.
My man Gleam is out there. He can post it. I'll dig later, but I think you've seen it. Are you saying we do see bottom up obstruction?
I don't. Brian, I'm just looking for the first law of Flurf to be confirmed.
I'm literally proving that the first law of Glurf. When you say that the first law of Flurf, we have to lie to Flurf, bro.
That's not the first law. That's an axiom.
Lies, bro.
That's not the first law. That's an axiom.
Honest one time in your life and just say that you were wrong. That when you say that never, okay, when you meant never, you were wrong.
No, Brian. No, I was
law of
being...
Glurf. There you have it, bro. He won't admit ever because he knows it all, folks. He's a compulsive liar.
Brian, come on. Why do you got to be like that?
I'm just in the role, bro. I'm just saying that. I'll call it, man.
We used to get along, Brian. Now you're getting all dirty on me.
I'll back it up a notch. Let's bring it down.
So, all right, here you go. But Nico just posted a video there.
But when it does McTune in defense, okay, I'll calm it down. But when you say the first law of Flurf, like there's a big majority of us trying to keep it honest and trying to learn shit.
Do you know what the first law of Flurf is?
Well, I'm just referring to the one where you say you have to lie to Flurf.
That's not the first law. What is the first law of Flurf, Brian?
Don't know. I thought it was you have to lie to Flurf.
No, that's an axiom. What is it? That's an axiom. The first law of Flurf is that all Flurf citations contradict the Flurf's position. So when you said something, when you said something,
so the never you meant is not never. You're literally projecting on me, Toon. You won't take back that it never happens. You're just giving reasons why it sometimes does, but
Brian,
Brian, go ahead.
You need to understand. When I said that, I was saying it within the context of how perspective makes things appear.
So you're wrong. So
no, I was not. I was completely right. But you are ignoring the context. All right, I posted the laws of. Hold on, Brian.
Bro.
For reference, I posted the laws of Flurf so that you can see them, so you can reference them. So when I say
nice,
Brian, so when I say first law of Flurf, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you're lying when I say that.
But that is what calls a Flurf, right?
What's that?
Literally projecting. So you're projecting. So what you meant to say in that video was that geometrically it never happens, right? You didn't mean never
in
as
the
in
context
real world,
of
right?
in the context of perspective. That's what I meant. But you're trying to apply it to something I didn't mean. That's the pedantics that you're trying to do there, Brian.
Perspective. Okay, so you didn't mean never though, right? Never.
I meant within the context of what I was talking about, Brian. Don't put words in my mouth.
Clear that up.
Don't put words in my mouth, Brian. It's rude.
No, it's you. That video was describing a sun and its setting, okay? And now you're just changing it to just perspective. So not never then, right? You meant not never, correct?
Wrong. I meant within the context of what I was talking about. It was on screen. But you didn't want to, leave it in the context that I was meaning it to be in. You wanted to apply something else to it.
I just want you to say so, not never, right?
No, I would not say that because
only when it comes to geometrical perspective, right?
Brian, I was saying within a certain context. You're ignoring that context. That's dishonest.
Right. So we'll clarify that.
I already did.
And say,
I already did, Brian.
Okay.
I already did just a couple minutes ago, Brian. But you keep bringing it up, Brian. You won't let it go, Brian. I don't know why you won't let it go, Brian. It's a little rude, but that's fine because that's what we expect sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gas lighting champion of the world, grandstanding MC Toon.
You cut out there.
I said, ladies and gentlemen, the gaslighting champion, grandstanding world, MC Toon.
You cut out again.
If you
that's fine.
Up,
but that's fine. All right. So Brian, do you want to get to what you and I spoke about for today, or do you want to keep going on this? I'm fine either way.
Yeah, we'll definitely move off this, but I do want to bring up before we get to a couple quick ones. Just one mainly is that okay. So I did describe it in Jaren's video how we see in a dome. This time I was able to show it, and I hope you were able to see the airplanes. Like when you see them further away, they literally look like they're going down. When we know that we watch airplane after airplane. And they literally all appear like that. They look like they're going straight up. I compared it to when I tricked a dude saying it was a space shuttle.
Okay.
And but it looked like a space shuttle when you catch them lower, when you could see them lower to the horizon, which you can't always. It has to be a real clear day. But even above that, it looks like they're going straight up. So that's not due to Earth curve, right? That's just our visual. That's our visual perspective. So you can't really use the mathematics to describe vision.
Who has ever said, certainly not me, but who has ever said that how we view airplanes flying in the sky, just our view from the ground of them, somehow is evidence for the Earth being a globe? Who has said that?
I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying that.
So then
I'm
why
saying
would
that
you bring it up as a refutation for it when I haven't said it and I don't know anybody who has?
When we're going to move on to the sun and stars and whatnot, okay, when we're seeing things do that visually, we're seeing them drop angle, appear to rise, appear to be in a dome around us, then I'm just proving that is optical.
Right.
So I'm just trying to give you some evidence. Like I'm trying to give evidence and demonstrations, like real world stuff to back my shit up.
Yep.
And I'm asking you to do the same.
Yep. When you're ready, I will address it. And I just need you to not interrupt me just while I address it.
I'll shut up.
All right.
Good.
I posted that picture again, how depth perception works, if you want to look at that. If you look at that tunnel there, if you were to imagine let's right in the center at the top there, let's install a track, and let's put a model airplane on that track and have it be on the far end of the tunnel there. And then let's have that model airplane on the track that's just below the ceiling, right in the center of the ceiling there, the highest point of the ceiling. Have that move towards the viewer. That model airplane on the track just below the ceiling of the tunnel there, which is not changing in elevation at all. It's being consistent in elevation. That plane will appear to move straight up to the observer. Right?
Oh, I'm taking a look at it.
It's too complex for him.
He just refused
Are there any flat earthers with us in the side chat tonight, says Matthew Forrest.
Sorry, I missed that, Paul. What was that again?
I said he the whole argument with lens bit, he just blatantly refused to understand it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He just kept on
completely
going back to
ignored
his own mantra over and over again, regardless of what the team said.
G'day, Blue. There you go. Yeah. He just wanted to get this point, and even then his point was, I just want Toon to say, he said never, but yeah, it's all like, wow.
Yeah. I want to take Toon out of context. Toon won't agree with me.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that somehow proves something. Doesn't prove anything. Yeah. No. How you going, Blue? You had a good week?
There we go. Good day.
Good day. Any exciting things happening in your world?
Every day is amazing.
Did I see you got a...
The simple fact that I wake up is amazing.
Did I see you over in MMM?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been there much. I think I'm out of sync.
It's not a bad place to hang out, really.
Yeah. A few times I've been there, I've been out of sync. But when I'm flicking between the stuff on gems and the stuff in there, it's I seem to cop the bad times to get on Discord, I think.
They're complaining about echoes.
Echoes again? I thought I got rid of echoes.
Oh, come on. Echoes. Classic Floyd.
Oh, why am I getting echoes?
Oh, not those ones. Right.
Let's try that. If I click this button, you'll stop getting echoes. There you go. No more echoes. Just Blue was echo. Is it like this? You're so good, Blue. There's two of you. There you go. I think that's gone now. Yes, probably I would because I have the power. That's the only reason I wasn't echoing. You guys get me direct. Yeah, I think that should be gone. No, I don't know if you caught much of what was. I was just following through Brian and Leaky and Toon thing they had on today. Have a bit of a look.
Did Toon and Leaky do that?
Yeah.
When?
It said 4 hours ago. Was it finished the stream?
Oh,
4 or 5 hours ago. Yeah.
The middle of the night over here.
Yeah.
Middle of the night over here.
It was while I was at work, so I wasn't happening for me. So.
Two's streams start at 2 a.m. in the UK.
When I was working from home, I'd listen to them, and they'd be about Well, it depends which one he does. So sometimes you'd catch him at about 11 a.m. our time, and sometimes it'd be about 3 p.m. in the evening. So it depends on what he's doing, I suppose.
It was right in the middle of me giving vaccinations to ducks.
Yeah. Toon is a danger to ducks. Poor duck gets a slightly bigger jab than normal.
We're gonna have autistic ducks now.
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to have zombies? Aren't we all supposed to turn zombies soon? Isn't that the story?
I predict Leaky will get everything wrong as usual. Toon will laugh at him extensively, and Leaky will claim he won the debate.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Well, so far he spent probably nearly half an hour trying to get Toon to say that he used the word never when referring to something appearing below the horizon appearing above level or something or other. And it's completely out of context of what Toon was saying, of course.
Use the word what?
I forget what it was.
Well,
Toon
Toon was presenting it. Toon was presenting a diagram on how perspective works, right? Nothing to do with refraction at all. Just saying that there's an eye level and things above that eye level will never go below that eye level with perspective, and things below that eye level will never go above that eye level with perspective, right? That's how perspective works, right?
Sure.
And so Brian is now trying to include refraction in all that and saying that Toon's wrong because he said never. But when you take refraction into account, things can appear above your eye level. And Toon's saying, well, that's because when I was talking about that diagram, I wasn't referring to refraction. I was simply referring to perspective. But Leakey wants him to retract his use of the word never because, basically Leakey wants to get him to admit that if you take him out of context, then he shouldn't have used the word never.
Yeah, it's that like he does that. That's the game he plays.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if refraction is lifting up the bottom half of the image, surely it will be lifting up the top half of the image as well. So it won't actually make any difference to what you see. You won't see it above.
Well, it's like someone pointed out on Gem's server the other day. They claim that the ground ramps up to cover, whatever's there. I mean, like, how does the fucking ground ramp up, but not the objects that are on the ground?
Because it was that the one I had the guy is trying to say, and I said, "Oh, what if we have a completely flat plane and you send your twin off in a direction?" And I said, why did it suddenly that the ground must ramp up and must actually physically move up in between for some reason. Yeah, he was had no explanation.
Actually, in reality, if the ground is absolutely flat, it will be increasing in elevation, won't it?
What, the ground? No. Well,
yes.
No. Would be the short answer to that.
If the ground is flat, if the ground is flat and is going away from you, it will be gaining in elevation.
Yep.
From what data?
It will be gaining in elevation at 8 inches per mile squared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about on an Earth.
As a rough general approximation.
You're talking about on the actual Earth, not on the theoretical. Not on the theoretically flat Earth. Was what I was thinking.
Not on a theoretically flat Earth. No, I mean I'm talking about in reality.
Yes, I'm with you now. That is correct. then yes, elevation it will increase. If you had a curved datum, depends what. Arguably, it depends on how you've defined your datum, but yeah, it will be to the center of the Earth. It will be changing elevation. Yeah. As we know, consequently, the LIGO is a good example. Well, yes, and he did also had the wonderful thing about arguing about the lenses, because he knows about, the atmosphere lensing, so therefore all lenses work like that. So you can look through the bottom part of a spherical lens or a circular lens, and that would be an analogy for refraction in the atmosphere, of course. He didn't like that one. Because his analogy was that because we're at the bottom of the atmosphere, so therefore when you look at a lens, you've got to look at the bottom of the lens. So. Yeah.
I think there are
he
a
needs to
couple in
find
here.
a lens with a refractive. He needs to find a lens with a refractive index of 1.0003.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If he wants to simulate the atmosphere, good luck with seeing any effect with such a lens.
Yeah, and also, wouldn't it be better to use whatever half a cylinder would be? That's cut through its long axis.
So hemispherical lens. I don't know if that's if that's what it is.
Yeah, so there's only curvature in the vertical direction, essentially.
Yeah.
I know those lenses. I don't know if that's what they're called, though. I'm just making it up. Okay, let's see where they go.
Here. We got Sam Oddhe 5.
Where are you showing that at, Tim?
It's the same picture. I put it in
Same place I've been looking at.
Again, in the main
Yeah.
text chat.
Yep. Oh, the same picture. Okay.
I prefaced this by saying it's the same picture, Brian. Did you miss that part?
Yeah, but can you demonstrate this up close? The way you're describing it mathematically, can you demonstrate it locally up close?
Brian, you didn't ask me to provide a
Yes or no,
demonstration for this today.
ever, dude. Just yes or no,
Of course, this is easy to demonstrate. This is not difficult to demonstrate. People, I don't think you will find anybody that will disagree with this, Brian. I'll go over it again, right? You got the track on the ceiling. It's right at the highest point of the ceiling. There's an airplane right underneath the track, suspended from it. At the far end of the tunnel
That's
is
not
where
what you're showing. Describing. I want a demonstration.
I wasn't done talking, Brian. So, all right, let's move on since you don't want to listen to me.
No, but when you said
Brian, you don't want to listen to me. You don't want to listen to me, Brian. So you closed down this topic, Brian, because while I was talking about this and explaining this topic to you, you constantly interrupted me and you don't want to listen to this topic. Wave the white flag by not allowing me to talk during my portion of the talking.
I'm sorry for that, but you're just
No, you're not sorry for
dude.
that. If you were sorry for that, you would not keep doing it, Brian. You constantly do it. You are not sorry. If you were sorry, you would stop.
I'm not going to let you repeat your horse shit without saving time. You're repeating horse shit that I'm asking you to fucking demonstrate in real life, bro. Quit gaslighting.
Ooh. Brian, did you ask me ahead of time to go and do this ahead of time? No, Brian.
When you said you say something new, or just let me talk. One or the other. Don't repeat what we've all heard.
A lot, Brian. And whenever I talk, you try to stop me from talking. That tells me
wrong, so
that you're
mad,
scared.
Bro. You get mad when you're wrong.
You're scared of me talking. You hate the idea that I will prove you wrong, so you won't let me talk. That's what you're doing.
Go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk. Just don't repeat, please.
All right. I've already said it then. So then recall from your memory what I said about this. Go ahead.
Talk about the shit on the track, and you're just some kind of short range model describing it to us, and I'm asking you to demonstrate that. I didn't ask you to use the same.
Brian, I can't go outside right now at this instant and provide this demonstration. I have not prepped it.
5 years.
What?
You're acting like something up close gives us that vision, that up close.
Yeah,
and
nobody
the math-
disputes this, Brian, not even flat earthers. You are literally the only person in the world that disputes this.
I'm not disputing it. I'm disputing your description of it.
Yeah, you're
disputing.
It. Yeah. Got it.
You said you updated your website. How did you update it?
When did I say I updated my website?
You said you already did. You said I already fixed it. So what did you do to fix it?
What did I fix? What did I say I fixed on my website?
You claim never. See, you just forget. So when you claim never, that it never happens, that you were only talking about perspective, you said you already fixed it.
How am I going to fix? How am I going to fix the video that I did a year ago on my website?
So you didn't update it already then?
No, of course
Okay,
I did
very
not,
good.
Brian. I've been busy talking to you, not able to just go over and edit a video.
So can you at least verbally tell me what to do to clarify that it does happen? And you can't claim never.
You want to go back to a different topic now that we've already settled. I'll say it the last time, and if you're going to be dishonest and bring it up again, then I'm going to be very upset with you, Brian, and I'm going to call your mom and ask her to stop. Have you stop, okay? Within the context of perspective, within that context, things on the ceiling will never cross below the floor, and things on the floor will never cross and become above the ceiling. Within just the context of perspective. This does not conclude confounding variables. There you go. Last time I'm saying it, Brian. All right, so we're done with that. You asked me for a demonstration, which I don't have because you didn't ask me yesterday or 10 days ago. So I didn't go and do a specific demonstration just for you for this thing.
You just said it's critical. It's critical to remember that something below true.
You bring it up again, Brian. Level. All right, Brian. All right. I'm gonna have to call your mom.
Hold on, Toon. Just listen to this real quick to make sure I'm not missing something here, because you didn't say variables.
You're not talking now. I can't hear you if you're.
So I'm sharing my screen just for 10 seconds, if y'all don't mind. Tell me when you can see it. All right, here we go.
Will never appear above true level.
You just can't stop.
Never appear below.
Oh my gosh! All right.
So I'm asking that, and I thought you said you already did, but maybe I misunderstood when you said you already.
Why would you think?
Never, and you put emphasis on never, so you didn't mean never. You didn't mean never.
Brian, is your mom still around?
No, she's passed away, dog.
All right. Well, then I can't get her to come over there and tell you to stop doing it.
Just be honest for one second.
I am, Brian. I made it clear. I clarified many times, and you've asked me not to repeat myself, so I won't. Don't bring it up again. I'm asking you to not repeat yourself. I've already clarified.
You put emphasis on never, clarified. So please.
I've already clarified.
Okay. All right. We'll move on then.
Yeah.
So
good.
That's it. So you're not willing to.
I already clarified.
Now the point was that. Hold on 1 second.
What are we holding on for?
Okay. When I brought up the angle,
I bet you whatever we're holding on for, we're not going to be excited by it.
I think the point was Brian is a pedantic prick. That was the real point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I bring up the eclipse angles. Then when I show the moon high in the sky and the sun just barely above the horizon, like 1 to 2 degrees, or about to come up over the horizon, it's explained to me that the moon, if it's 1 degree above the horizon, is only 2,000 miles, according to the trig, and that the sun being 1 degree above the horizon puts it at 1,600,000 miles above the horizon. They explain the angles on the moon, the lit angles, not matching what we would expect, which is fine. I'm good with that, if that's an explanation. But in the same breath, you want to say that them parallel rays can hit the bottom of clouds. So when I showed examples, and I've got dozens of them, of a sun 1, 2, arguably 3 degrees above the horizon,
Brian, I've got the diagram that you refused to look at from last time when I was talking with you. The sun is not 1 degree above the horizon. It's below the horizon when it's shining on the clouds.
Okay, I'm going to show a picture then. Okay, because the examples I gave you, it's well above the horizon.
The sun is well above the horizon.
What you drew was deflecting, bro. I didn't describe a sun below the horizon. I described a sun above the horizon shining up on the bottom of clouds. You made that shit up so you'd have somewhere to run.
Let's see it, Brian.
Okay. How many you want to see, Toon?
Just one.
Okay.
And
you could post them in there too.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I could.
How far above the horizon does he think that is?
I think that's not his. Hang on, that's Nico's. Yeah. So I was trying. I thought that
it's just amazing. It's amazing you don't like. I've showed him some like you really don't.
Here's one from Nico where the sun is above the horizon, but it's not shining just on the bottom of the clouds. Doesn't help you there.
Yeah, but sometimes it does, right?
There you go. And then here's from Nico. Look at that. Sun is gone, and you can see the clouds where they're lit from just the bottom. Amazing.
Yeah, amazing, right?
From Glober Mom. Oops, no sun there. The one from Glober Mom.
Wow.
All right, can you? I still don't see the one you're talking about. Yeah, randomly Epic suggests that you should get Starlink internet. That might help.
Gaslighting, bro. I'm trying to pull up a fucking what you're acting like you've never seen because you're not honest and you're gaslighting the whole time.
We know you haven't put it up.
And now you're somebody in the audience is gaslighting, dude.
I'm filling space because you're looking for stuff. I get it. You don't have it handy. You got to find it on your phone. It's right. You're not on a computer, are you?
Don't be
Quit
silly.
gaslighting.
Are you? I'm not. Are you on a computer or on a phone?
Fine gaslighting, Toon.
Brian, are you on a computer or on a phone?
I'm on my phone.
Okay, it's
Just told you
harder.
that.
I get it. It's harder for you to find stuff on your phone. I'm not upset about that.
It's respond to you and keep clicking back and forth. It's just
Brian
whatever. It's just like,
computer.
even if I was sitting there with you, you're gaslighting, and then you have chat. It's like you're reading chats that are also gaslighting. Gets old, dude.
We're enjoying a little chuckle, Brian.
Just so we're clear, you know what that means? Define gaslight, please.
Come on, Brian. Just go find it.
Define gaslighting, Toon.
Yeah, making somebody think that they heard something wrong. Making somebody think that something they thought was true is a lie. Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna put it in text.
Brian, come on, man. Brian's the Bill Clinton of flat Earth. Depends on what the meaning of the word is. Yeah.
Timbo.
Yeah.
Do you think you could just share the picture that is now my thingy with
sure.
With the people? Oh, look.
I think I can even make it bigger. Hang on a sec. Where are you? Spotlight for everyone. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, look. Actually, the sun is above the horizon, and it is lighting the underside of some clouds.
Yes, there you go. I've got it.
Did Alan take that photograph himself?
Oh, you must have. Yeah, I've got good photos like that too. I'll have to find one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get up a bit early in the morning to take that photos like that, especially up in these northern latitudes.
I got one from the
With
other
the-
side of the Australia, even somewhere.
when the sun is coming over the horizon at 3 something in the morning.
Yeah, that's I'll have to track that through. Let's put on. See if Brian's got his picture up yet. Hang on a sec. Switch back. Whoop. Pushing the wrong buttons. Transition. There we go.
I just did it live. I'm gonna put it in text. Put it in text for you.
Still waiting.
Wait, come on. Oh, he'll never get it. It's just this is unbearable. I was trying to give him slack for not being able to find it quickly because he's on a phone. It's harder on a phone. Get a computer. I was giving him grace on that, and he doesn't get it.
Oh, man. Aggravating.
Ooh, look at that. That's a good one there from Globe Turd Society.
Dude, we still haven't got it.
Go back to tune. You're still showing now.
Carnivore
Or
says by
sharing now.
definition,
Oh, am I?
constantly accusing someone else of
Yes.
gaslighting without evidence
Shouldn't be.
would be gaslighting.
Hang on a sec.
Well, I
You
won't
should-
disagree with that, but
No, no.
You
You
are.
still have me pinned.
Oh, for you guys. Oh, sorry. I must have pinned you for everybody. I thought I just made it bigger for the audience. Remove spotlight. There you go. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Now you can see. Yeah, sorry about that. I haven't never pushed that button before, so I didn't know what it did. That's always scary. I just made it go big. Okay. We're still waiting for Brian. Oh, there we
No,
go.
bro. I really didn't want to move on until we discussed, the when you say never and put emphasis on never, like
Oh, yeah, gosh. Keep going back to that,
mean
Brian.
never, right?
We're done with that.
I posted it, bro.
My
Okay,
gosh,
I've already posted it. Give it a look.
That's amazing, Brian.
Give it a look.
Wh-
Now,
why? Where is that from?
conceded. You made a drawing. You never conceded that a sun 1 degree above the horizon, mathematically, hopefully you checked it out after the debate. You should know just in your head that it's about 1 million, knowing the tangent. But so being 1 degree above the horizon puts it 1,600,000 miles above that cloud, right? So you never conceded to the trigonometry. And if anybody doesn't understand this, they explain the downward lit moon that's way higher in the sky with that same mathematics. So I would ask them, if parallel rays are shining down on a moon when the sun's just barely above the horizon, how are parallel rays simultaneously shining up from the bottom of clouds if it's 1 million plus miles above the damn cloud?
Well, there's a few things you're missing here. Of course, you need to look down to see the horizon. Do you not know that?
Just answer the question, man.
And yeah, so where is this from? This is a pretty rough quality.
You're just deflecting. Let's not talk about. I could several of them, bro. Just answer the question. That'd be.
I love the trig that you're trying to do here.
So let's talk about the trig. Let's talk about the triangle calculator. Let's talk about the prettiness of the picture. Let's talk about anything except the point.
Dude, the geometry is fun to listen to you. Because when you actually do the geometry, the one time you actually do the geometry, it's I wasn't even done. How could I gaslight if you didn't even let me finish my sentence, Brian? Okay, you didn't want to hear it.
If you want to respond, do you agree with the trig?
You won't let me respond, Brian. When I respond, you jump in and prevent me from responding. So why would I try to respond again when multiple times I've been responding and you interrupt me and to prevent me from responding? Explain that to me, Brian. Why should I try again and again?
Just gaslight your response, bro, and not to the question. The simple question: does the trigonometry put a sun 1 degree above the horizon, 1,000,006 above that cloud? It's a simple mathematical question. Don't talk about Brian's geometry and gaslighting and the quality of the photo. Just, it's a trigonometry. It's a simple mathematical question, bro. Can you give me a straight answer ever?
You won't let me answer, Brian. That's your problem. But, okay, so first of all, that's not a full degree. That looks like it's closer to half a degree because the sun is approximately half a degree in diameter. And that rough picture there, it looks like the sun is about half a degree. Don't know how high the observer is, but it's not, it's, the thing is, you're doing this geometry where you're using the sun and doing this 1,000,000 miles above it. It's not above it, Brian. It's that distance away, and it's an angular relationship, not a linear relationship. That's what's going on there, Brian. But the one time...
Okay, so you refused to answer. You refused to... sorry, go ahead.
No, I was answering, and then you stopped me.
Okay, if I draw a tangent to my
Brian,
feet...
there we go, we're done.
If I drop down...
You won't let me discuss this topic anymore. You refuse to allow me to discuss this topic.
What are you talking about, dude? You just said
While
you was done.
I'm explaining the answer, you interrupted me again on this topic.
Repeat.
Again, you do not want me to answer this.
He's quit running like a bitch, dude. Me? You said
Ryan,
he was done.
You constantly interrupted me. Again, this is the third time I tried to explain it. You interrupted me again. You do not want me to explain it.
Ask you, is the math correct? If I draw a tangent from my feet, okay, and the sun is 1 degree above that, does that put the sun approximately 1,600,000 miles above the cloud? It's a mathematical question, bro. It doesn't need any of the horse shit rolling around in your head, bro. It's a mathematical question. Is that math correct?
No.
Okay, so if opposite side that come out to 1,600,000 miles, if your theta is 1 degree and your adjacent is 93 million miles, your baseline, 93 million miles. So you disagree with trigonometry, the triangle calculator, and the explanation of why we're
I
getting...
disagree with your trigonometry, but you won't let me explain it to you.
How can you have the baseline and then use that as the angle? How does that work?
So, we've been at this 1 hour, and we haven't yet started on the thing that you and I agreed to talk about.
Is that a lie? Didn't we change it, or is that a lie?
You said
didn't you say that we'll just?
You said you had a 10,
like we points.
I'll get the screenshot of what you said to me so that everybody can see it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, make sure them all.
All right.
Changed it, right? Not me. You changed it over the points on Jaren's the question, right?
All right. I'm putting up the screenshot of our conversation so everybody
You're
can
just
see.
running.
There you go. You asked me today at 4:39 my time, did you put together a presentation? No. I said I did not. I figured we could just review the questions from where we, from when we were on Jaren's. And then you said you put together a 10-minute opener about optics. I said, cool. So we're past that 10 minutes. Right? We can get some more context here.
So ain't that what we're doing? Are you still running away from the points? Because I'd like to get some closure. If we can't get closure, you just say no. Bro, that's not closure. I want some type of explanation or demonstration, bro. Look, just now you said you were done, okay? And if it's the explanation, if I put it in the mathematical, if I put it in the triangle calculator, because that's what you use to explain the downward lit moon with the sun way underneath, then I'm going to hold that to the clouds too. So I'm going to, there are other, it indicates other things, bro. There are other freaking repercussions for your claims. So when you claim the sun is really 1,600,000 miles above the moon and above them clouds, and that's why it's shining down on the moon, then I'm going to hold you clouds too. Like, hold on, it's simultaneously hitting the bottom of cloud, the sun above the horizon. You then go discussing the sun and draw a picture with the sun below the horizon. I never brought that up. I showed you bottom lit clouds with the sun above the horizon. Call it half a degree. That's 800,000 miles above the cloud. I just want an explanation. If the rays are coming in simultaneously shining down on the moon and up on clouds.
No, you don't want an explanation, because when I do, you interrupt me. All right. For context, I put the rest of our conversation in there.
And what am I doing that is wrong from what you asked for?
On the 2nd, which was yesterday, I said we can go over the questions that we had for each other on Jaren's. Let me see where.
So you changed it, right?
This was yesterday, Brian. I did not change it. I mean, the full context is there for people.
You did change it, though, right? We're going to discuss formulas and all that for bottom-up obstruction, and you changed it, right?
What was the question that I asked you to Jaren on Jaren's? What was the first question I asked you there?
You just read, Tune. Just read what
was the first question I asked you? I just posted it. The first question I asked you: what is the bottom-up obstruction prediction formula?
And then what? And then what happened? Then just read.
Then the second question: how far away does the sun need to be to set?
And then what did you say?
Then I said, what is the derivative of x squared with respect to x?
I'm talking about our conversation, bro. Our conversation formula on a flat earth and everything, and then you changed it. You said we could just go over the questions that were asked on Jaren's, like go over multiple shit. That was your shit.
That was the topic. I didn't change it. That was always the topic, Brian.
Go back to the beginning and read mine and your texts back and forth. Don't give people half the picture. That would be dishonest, right, Tim? If you didn't read them all.
Did you not see what I posted, Brian? Oh my goodness.
Just read them. Read them from the very. Wait, it's not going to take you 2 seconds.
All right.
What's the problem?
Here we go. Let's go back to, let's see, September 15. September 15. You tried giving some equations for something on Tuesday. Could you share them here? I did not write them down on Tuesday. Yeah, when I get back to the house this evening, I'll get that over to you. Maybe set up a discussion or something so I can explain it. I said a lot of people are curious about this, want to go over it Tuesday. The context of the question is the equations that you gave me on Tuesday. That was the bottom-up obstruction stuff, Brian. Then you said I would definitely like to. It's on my screen right now on YouTube, our whole conversation. I'll let you know by tomorrow whether Tuesday's a go for or not. I said that you're...
Okay.
I joked with you about your Discord avatar. And you said
and then you changed it, and then
hold on.
So then,
I'm
so
still
at first
reading.
we were going to
Brian,
discuss
everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. So you don't need to try to accuse me of changing anything. It's right here.
So you
it's wide
discussed
open.
something, and then you changed.
All right. Say, how does Tuesday work? Bro, I'm not going to be able to obligate myself on Tuesday. I may wind up having some time Tuesday evening, but I'm not sure enough to make a commitment. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Then I said on September 24th.
He's a habitual liar, dude.
How about this?
You just
this is on screen.
Right.
This is on. You can review our conversation too. Then I said,
talk about
all right. Then I said next Tuesday. You said next Tuesday ? You said I'm good with next Tuesday, not tomorrow on Asylum. You game? I said next week works for me. I'd like a platform where we can see each other and share screens if possible. You know, like Zoom. But that's fine. And then on the 29th, I said, we good Tuesday? You said, pretty sure. I said, cool. You said, if for some reason I can't make it, I'll give you a couple days notice. So far, so good. And then I said, party on, Wayne. And you did not. I have to say, I was hurt when you did not say the appropriate response to party on, Wayne. What's the appropriate response? The appropriate response is party on Garth. Party on Garth is what you should have said. I was personally offended that you did not say party on Garth when I said that. Anyway, talking about being on a Discord, I said this is fine, but it's chaotic. I would prefer to chat where we go over the questions from the debate on Gerons. This was on October 2nd, right? This was confirming the question about that I asked you, the equations for something on Tuesday from the debate. A lot of people are curious about this. The formulas.
So you said, so right here, it says, I would prefer a chat. This is you changing it, Toon. I prefer a chat where we go over the questions from the debate on Gerons. So we initially, the bottom up equations and all that, and said, and I prefer a chat. So you changed it, right, Toon? You modified it, right? Can you ever fucking concede anything ever, bro? Is there an honest
Brian,
bone in your
it's
body?
on screen. Everybody can read it. I did not change anything.
Yeah. What are you telling everybody could read it? You just modified it and said, I prefer to go over the questions asked on Gerons, okay? So what do you mean you prefer? You prefer over what? Twiddling your fucking thumbs? You prefer over what we originally discussed. What do you prefer it over?
What did we originally discuss then, Brian? What do you think was...
guys. Watch, he's a weasel.
What do you think was the original topic then, Brian?
The original topic was the bottom-up obstruction equation, which I sent to you. You said you wanted to discuss, then you changed it. You prefer to go over the questions.
What was the first question that I asked you?
Jaron.
What was the first question that I asked you when I talked with you on Gerons?
Oh my God, dude. What did you prefer it over?
What's the first
just
question?
Get that straight.
I mean, I'll bring it up
You
again.
said you-
I'll just bring it up again. I'll post it in the chat for everybody to see. There it is. The questions that I asked you on Gerons. First one, what's the bottom-up obstruction prediction formula? That's the question.
Yeah, and then bottom-up obstruction, and then in the middle of the debate, you said, like, bro, you didn't ask me a flat Earth bottom-up obstruction. You asked me for the. There is no bottom-up on a flat Earth. I could give you like an average or something like that. But when you get above 2,000 feet, there is no.
And that's a little bit of a problem, though, isn't it? Anyway, I'll finish so people can read it. I said I'm creating a thumbnail, scheduling it for 8. We can do Zoom or Discord. I think we get along better on Zoom. I think that's being proven true right here. But if you feel more comfortable on Discord, that's fine. APOC can facilitate. So then you said you didn't want to do it at the same time as Jaron. Said it wasn't a big deal. Jaron's topic is religion. That's 9 Eastern. You moved it to 10 Eastern. Fine with me. So anyway, there it is. Everybody can see that. So anyway, I came here expecting that the topic was going to be starting with either the question I gave you or the question you gave me. And the question I gave you was, what's the bottom-up obstruction prediction formula?
I told you that it's opted. So when you say you prefer, over what? If you so we already had discussed what it's going to be about. Then you said, well, I prefer that we go over the questions that were asked on Gerons,
which was
right?
the topic
So
that we had already established.
You prefer over what? What do you prefer that over?
Nothing. I was preferring the topics that we had already agreed to. The questions from Gerons. What else did you think I was talking about?
When I said optics, okay, when I said I made a presentation on optics, okay, after you changed it, so you just prefer it to nothing, right? So you prefer going over the questions asked.
Let's go back to when did you introduce your hold on.
How long do they go on
Today
this
at
about?
7:18 p.m. is when you let me know.
Recognize it. You're dodging simple fucking questions, bro. Can't even get you to agree with the triangle calculator, bro.
I'm disagreeing with your application of trigonometry. But you didn't want me to explain it to you, so I mean, you were gonna miss out on that.
Yeah, this is the second show that you're not going to explain the tangent function.
I tried, Brian, but 3 times you interrupted me.
Bro, anybody can do this, okay? Anybody can go to triangle calculator, put in 1 degree as your observer angle, and then put in 93 million miles as your baseline. And we don't need Brian or Toon to give the height. It's going to give it as 1,600,000 miles approximately. We don't need you.
Brian,
I just wanted to see if you'd agree with it, bro.
Of course I
because
don't.
That's the excuse you
Brian, it's
for the
because you
moon.
don't understand the geometry. That's fine. But I'm not going to explain it to you because you won't let me. So do you want to actually go to the original topic and discuss the questions that we went over on Jaren's?
No, you just said I don't understand geometry. What's there to understand, dude? When I draw a tangent from my feet, that's underneath the cloud, right? Will you even admit to that? Toon, is the tangent of my feet lower than the cloud, sir?
Travis. Why Travis? I said Travis because Globerman posted something that said Travis on it. No, Brian. Like I said, 3 times. 3 times I tried to explain it. 3 times you interrupted me. That's it, Brian. You won't let me talk about it.
You agree with the trig.
You won't let me talk about it. I disagree with your trig. There you go. End of this discussion.
That's how professional. That's how professional gets out of answering a question.
No, I tried. You 3 times interrupted me, Brian.
You said you were done the last time. You fully explain it. All you did.
No, I didn't.
Everybody can go back and listen to you bullshit way through this debate, bro. You are a professional bullshitter, bro. There's people who can help you, dude. There are people who can help you because you don't even obviously recognize it. You're dodging simple fucking questions, bro, and just bullshitting your way through this debate.
Brian, you wouldn't let me answer. You won't let me answer.
That's his excuse.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Rodent, no last name, says, boy, he's sure spending a lot of time talking about anything but flat earth proofs. Definitely.
I'd answer. That's too late. I can never answer now. There's 3 chances and answer this simple question.
Brian, I'm gonna try. What is the bottom up obstruction prediction formula?
Dude, I already gave it to you. Okay, there's no bottom up obstruction formula.
But things are obstructed bottom up.
Okay, I don't have to share my screen for this. Did you see where soundly? This is called real world demonstration. He set up a 7-mile string of lanterns. Okay, he then did a time lapse. What he got was concave, flat, convex, concave, flat, convex. Same thing with Skunk Bay. We do a time lapse. We see shit going in and out, okay? This is called reality. We've demonstrated to you over and over. We've even given you the luxury of Zoom, okay? And you just think that there's some equation that can predict shit, bro. It's wrong when you talk about reciprocals and anything, all this shit. You're never going to get anything consistent, bro. Ever. That's the way reality works. So when you want math, so I would ask you this. If I write
APOC's going to be so sad.
Long,
APOC's going to be so sad.
And no, if I write a sentence 10 miles long, Toon, and it just says, whatever, I refuse to answer Brian's question. I refuse to answer Brian's question. I refuse to answer Brian's question on the ground. And it's a perfectly flat ground. And I write it for 10 miles over and over and over. What's the best angle I can get to read the whole sentence? If I end it at a wall, so I've got a wall in front of me 10 miles away, straight up and down vertical on a flat plane. And now I just write it on the surface. So I've got basically the surface and a wall making a 90-degree angle. And I've just got this sentence written over and over and over and over. I refuse to answer Brian's question. I refuse to answer Brian's question. What's the best angle I can have to reading the whole 10 miles of that sentence?
What does that mean?
It sounds to me like you cannot answer the question I asked. Instead, you deflect it.
What question? I'm discussing it right now. So I want to see where your mind lies.
What is the bottom-up obstruction prediction formula?
There is no bottom-up obstruction always. I can't give you a formula if it's not always existent. It cuts off at 2,000 feet, according to NASA. There's no bottom-up obstruction of 2,000 feet.
According to NASA, again, I'm going to ask you to provide that citation. But right there, I mean, turning torso, I just posted it, definitely is getting obstructed bottom up. And there is a globe prediction, and it's pretty stinking good. There is exactly no flat Earth prediction.
About later that day when that's not true. You want to ignore that. But here's my question. This is going to get us to the point, Toon. What's the best angle we can get at that sentence? If, like I said, with my description, this will get us.
Yeah, so
I might be able to teach you something, bro.
Deflect away from the actual question. So, got it.
I just answered the question over and over and over. Here's your answer. I'm not done.
No.
There is no because there's not always obstruction, Toon. You want me to say that over and over? There's no formula because there's not.
Well, I mean, there is for the globe, and it's correct. But there you go.
Don't like answering. You want to just cut my answer off and say you're not answering when you are the one who won't answer because of saying you're getting cut off. Well, I'm answering your question. There is no formula because there's not always obstruction, Toon. Quit saying I'm not answering it. That's dishonest.
All right. Let's go to the second one then.
No, hold on. Now,
yeah, you waved the white flag. You punted.
I've got an angle. It's not your turn to ask 1,000 questions. If I've got an angle, if I've got a wall and a big long 10-mile sentence written out, what's the best angle I can have to reading the whole 10-mile sentence? It's not a trick question, bro. It's just a question to see where you think. If I've got, like I said, on the ground, a sentence written on the ground, 10 miles long, and it stops at a wall. What's the best angle I can get to read that sentence?
I don't know.
I obviously can't read it on the ground. I can only read about 50 feet of it, right? And if I start to get higher and higher, I'm gonna ask you what's the best angle I could possibly get.
Brian, we all know you're higher and higher. Whew.
Yeah, more gaslighting. You're a professional, bro. Keep them coming.
You're not high?
No, I'm not fucking high.
Not right now. Later.
What kind of question is that, dude? You're a professional. You're running out of shit. Now you're trying to throw digs.
Brian, you got upset with me that you thought that I changed the topic from something other than the questions that we asked on Jaren's to the questions that we asked on Jaren's, when it was always just the questions we asked on Jaren's. And so I asked the first one, you punted. Let's go to the second one. How far away does the sun need to be to set?
I've answered every question you've answered, not even one of mine. I'm just going to keep on exposing your ass. Bro, you are a professional, dude.
When did you answer this
Just
question?
keep on. If you want to take turns, because I'm going to go back to my first question. If we're taking turns. I just answered yours. There's no formula because there is not always obstruction. And once we get above 2,000 feet, according to NASA's paper shot out the gleam, there's no bottom-up obstruction.
Citation needed.
Yeah, like I said, I'll get you that. According to him, according to Bread. But either way, you would agree, or you probably won't, but most honest people would, that on a lot of days, we see as far as the atmosphere lets us on a lot of days.
Yeah, and the globe, and like I said, Brian, we have explanations for that and understandings, and if we understand the conditions, we can predict it.
So you're willing to concede that someday the only limiting factor is the atmosphere.
The condition, there's more than just atmosphere, but yeah, the conditions are definitely modify it. And if we have an understanding of what's going on in the atmosphere, it affects our prediction, and our predictions are correct.
Sounds like a bunch of excuses. You want to give me this list?
It's actually not an excuse at all. It's 100% our ability to predict things if we know the conditions. Right. 100%.
Do you want to give me a list of these conditions, please? It sounds like excuses. Maybe it's not.
Yeah,
you want to give me a list of said conditions, please?
Yep. The lapse rate would be the first and most important one to get.
Okay, so you're up and down. You're talking about, I thought we were looking vertically or horizontally.
Yeah.
Is that the only
the most important one is the lapse rate. If you don't have that, then it reduces the ability to be precise.
Okay, can you show me observation with a not a flat Earth observation, a globe Earth observation with a lapse rate. You've had 5 years. Can you demonstrate that for me?
Sure. So
okay.
So
I want
that
to
you
see
don't
the
move the
thermometer, the way you
goalposts.
demand of us. I want to see
Yeah.
the thermometer,
Go
and
ahead.
I want to see all the facts.
Oh, you want the vertical lapse rate measurement? Yes.
I want to see what you ask of us.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yep. All right. Absolutely. Hold on. All right. I've talked about this before. I just put it in the chat there. It is the results of leveling refraction tests by the National Geodetic Survey. It was published in 1981. I put the link right directly to it there, so you don't even have to follow the DOI link and download it from there. In this measurement, they used INVAR poles, and they put multiple thermometers on these INVAR poles so that they could measure the vertical temperature. Lapse rate.
I mean, is it showing any of this, bro, or is it just claimed? You got any globers like any of these people, any anti-flat earther demonstrations of this? The way we show you temperature, surface temperature, the way we show you the temperature off the ground, the actual, where we can derive the lapse rate. Do you have anything besides the government claims? Anything in reality? Anything somebody did?
Yeah. All right. I was in the middle of explaining it. You refused to allow me. Let's go to the next topic then.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, so
you refused to allow me to complete my explanation for exactly what you asked for. You did not let me. You do not want this evidence presented. You are scared of it. That's why you constantly interrupt me. So we'll move on.
Already presented, dog. Did you not already present it? And you just explained it. When you start repeating your shit, then I'll try to jump in to save for time. Okay, anybody can go look. Present. Okay, I'm asking you because that's not what I wanted. I didn't ask for some government horseshit. I asked for something that one of you anti-flat earthers have demonstrated.
So you moved. It's called moving the goalpost, Brian. You did not specify who had to do it. You did not specify that it could not becoming from the National Geodetic Survey. You didn't specify that ahead of time, Brian. That was a goalpost move.
The Geodetic Survey has pre-assumed conditions, bro. Do you want to give any other condition? You said there were several.
Please cite the paper, the page on this paper that you didn't read where they have the pre-assumed conditions. Go ahead.
We've all seen your okay.
What page?
You said there are multiple conditions. Hold on. You said there are multiple conditions.
No. Right now. What page? You made the claim. You made the claim that they pre-assumed things. What page of this did they do it on? It's a 28-page paper. Which one?
In their calculations.
Which page? Just which page?
Did
you
they
told
use
me.
R?
You
it's
told
a simple
me.
Question.
You told me that.
You up, pal?
No, Brian.
Did
You made the very specific claim that they made a.
Isn't that curved down on a ball?
It has nothing.
Ain't that the whole argument?
The lapse, the different lapse rates don't have anything to do directly with the shape of the Earth, Brian.
They've heard enough, dude. You don't, dude. You can update your understanding later. Extends into the distance. It's not just one spot. You get a lapse rate for one area. That's not going to explain a 10-mile observation, dude.
Sure.
Now you know.
More precise.
Now you can update your web page.
Excellent.
Update your explanation.
Precise. Yeah, be more precise. But lapse rates are vertical measurements. A single vertical measurement at one position. That's it.
Okay. Now, so at one position. Now, if I'm going to do a 10-mile observation, and I'm going to gauge my lapse rate going off distance, and I've got a 1 meter observer height, is that going to curve? Is my lapse rate going to curve following R?
Lapse rates don't curve.
Okay, right. But is my 10-mile observation...
A lapse rate is just a vertical temperature measurement.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a vertical That's it.
Right. And is that gradient? Okay, as I get lapse rates and I'm calculating my lapse rates off into the distance, at 1 meter viewer height, is that going to be a straight line of sight, or is it going to curve down when I go to calculate the lapse rate?
You measure the lapse rate, Brian.
And once you measure it, dude, I'm going to call you Running Man, dog. Literally, I'm going to call you Running Man. Once you measure it and you're trying to get some type of bullshit globe calculation, and I'm 1 meter viewer height. I'm trying to gauge a lapse rate and average my measurements off into the distance. Is 1 meter height, is that going to stay as a straight line on a globe? Or is that going to curve following R on a globe?
If the lapse rate is positive, which it, except in extreme circumstances, it is positive, then that ray of light will bend down.
Who cares, bro? I'm asking you, is the line of sight where I'm gauging my lapse rate measurements up into the distance of my 10-mile observation, the more the better, okay? Now, is that 1 meter line of sight straight? When I average my lapse rates, okay, do I use a straight line of sight, or are they curved? So if I'm using a globe, I've got to insert R, right?
I'll give you the answer a second time. If that lapse rate is positive, then that line of sight will curve down.
So now level ain't curved on your globe, right? So
no, level is still curved, but that line of sight is curved as well.
Right. Okay. So if I'm now line of sight is with your lapse rate on a perfect day, dude, this dude's
This is a simple application? Well, it's not a simple application. It's a rather complicated application of Snell's law. It requires differential equations to get precise. But people have gone through it and have ways that have rule of thumbs ways to apply it if you don't want to do the differential equations.
Okay. So if I'm looking on the salt flat and I'm 1 meter high and I see something 1 meter high, 10 miles away with a laser with direct line of sight, what's up with your lapse rate? Okay, you just was it okay if I just took it in one?
In one what?
What was your lapse rate?
Just one little vertical lapse rate. That's all we need, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's okay. Of course, you can do better, but yeah, that's fine. Then what?
Okay, welcome to flat Earth.
How does that?
Got 17 mile from like 1 foot to 5 foot observations. They've tried to test the lapse rate to see if it changed from different elevations. It never changed, bro. You're throwing.
Brian, did they measure the lapse rate?
Dude, they got temperature, surface measurements. They got measurements a little higher, but what they mainly did, okay, is they just changed elevations and changed distances at the same time.
Brian, I'm asking
they showed a 10 mile. So they showed 10 mile and a 17 mile. They showed that it doesn't change.
Brian, we've spent all this time talking about lapse rate.
Right?
All this time we've talked about lapse rate. So now I'm asking you in these observations. I know you didn't understand it, but I'm helping you. And in these observations you're speaking of, did they measure the lapse rate?
Bro, I asked you, things started with me asking you for an example of one of you anti-flat earthers showing me an observation and showing me lapse rates, showing me temperature.
I'll post it again.
And all you did is revert to the model, bro. To your uncle,
right here,
Sam. That is
right there. There we go. There's the measurement. This is exactly what you asked for. Precisely what you asked for. They're measuring the lapse rate, and they're comparing the lapse rate. They're comparing, Brian. They're comparing the lapse rate. They're comparing the measured lapse rate. Oh my gosh, you just can't let me finish the sentence. You just can't let me finish the sentence, Brian. Is that it? You refuse to allow me to answer a question. You ask me a question, I'm answering, and you immediately interrupt, Brian. Every single time. And flat earthers, he's yours. We don't want him. You're stuck with him. He won't. He absolutely is scared. He's scared to allow me to answer questions so much that he can't have enough self-control to stop talking long enough unless his own person has to mute him so that he's not so rude that he constantly interrupts. That's the only way you can talk to Brian.
The grandstand, McToon, the grandstanding capital, bro. If I asked you for something and I apparently wasn't clear and you were running mouth refuses to stop, and I go to clarify what I'm asking for, and you just won't shut up. Then you start gaslighting and grandstanding. Bro, you are a professional by the definition, bro. You're full of shit. You're not honest. Okay? You
All
don't
you need to
understand
do
half this shit.
is let me explain things without interrupting, but you can't.
If I ask you a question and you're answering something you...
Yeah, I was answering exactly, but you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear it. It hurt you. It hurt your precious too much.
Dodgeball, bro. We're not playing dodgeball. We're having a conversation or a debate or a discussion. Where you're playing fucking dodgeball, bro. Why don't you answer an actual question, bro? Answer
I can't.
one
You
question,
won't let
honest,
me.
bro.
You refuse to let me, Brian. Every time I try to answer, you interrupt.
So you
every
didn't have
time.
that excuse.
Every time I try to
told him
answer,
to
you
mute
interrupt.
me.
Then you go back and say,
You would
how
have
come
that
you don't
excuse.
answer questions? The reason why I don't answer the question is because you won't allow me to answer the question, Brian. You don't want to hear the answer to the question, Brian. It scares you. That's why you have to interrupt.
That's a lie.
Well, then
you're a liar.
shut up and let me explain it. I bet you won't.
Go back to the first question that I asked you about mathematical. If I've got a 1 degree angle, answer that. I'll shut up. In fact, APOD's going to mute me. Answer the trigonometry. Don't answer any implications of it. Just answer the simple 1 degree, okay, and a 93 million mile baseline. What's the opposite side height? You won't answer it though. Mute me, APOD, and see if he'll answer it.
All right. Here's the it's not that difficult. The clouds, the angle from the observer to the clouds is not the same angle as the angle from the observer to the sun. So if you need to do a second triangle at the same distance to the sun at 93 million miles from the observer to the bottom of the clouds when you're drawing that triangle, that is going to be significantly higher because when you're doing triangulation, you've got angles going on. So while the sun may be in a certain position, the projected position of the clouds is significantly higher than the sun. That's why the angle between the sun and the clouds is the important thing, not the linear elevation at the sun's distance. Done.
Okay, ask again for a number. Got a theta or observer angle, tangent at 1 degree. I've got an adjacent or baseline of 93 million miles. I'm asking you again for the 100th time, what is the opposite side height, or C? What is the opposite side height?
All right, I will again tell you what.
Deflect.
I'm gonna actually do the math for you, Brian.
I've already done it and posted it 5 times.
All right.
Bro,
hold on. I'm doing the math for you, Brian. But I mean, do you want me to do it, or are you going to interrupt? Your choice here. Yeah. No answer. Good. I will do the math for you. All right. You've got the sun over there. You've got the clouds here, and so we've got the rays coming in to the observer. Rays coming in. Yeah, I know you can't see this, people. All right, so here is, if you want to look on YouTube, I'll make this a little bigger. Here's my first step of this diagram here. There you go, right there. So we've got the observer, we've got the sun off on the edge there. We've got the clouds. Again, the sun is hitting the underside of the clouds there, and there's the Earth. So that's step one. Now I'm going to draw a very distant, because people get scale confused. The sun and the moon, or the sun and the Earth. Now, this angle is important from the bottom of the observer, the observer to the bottom of the clouds. And I'm going to draw that line. I'll see if I can draw it in a different color so that it's a little more obvious there. So, and I'm going to use the same there. So, all right, here we go. This is good. You're going to love this, Brian. You may not.
It's not.
Oh, that marker is junk. Sorry. You need to do 2 triangles. That was the thing I said in my explanation, but you didn't get that. So this angle, we've got 2 angles going here. We've got theta 1, theta 2. All right, here you go. There it is. So we've got the angle. I hope, Brian, if you can watch on YouTube, I don't know, but you've got the angle between the horizon and the sun. That's theta 1. And we've got the angle between the sun and the cloud there. That angle there is important because you're going to draw two different triangles. So the second one then is the projected angular position of the clouds. I'm going to draw like a dashed cloud. Right there. See that? Okay. Now I got to draw in the angle between the edge of the Earth and the sun there, which is your one you want to look at. So there it is. All right. So you said it was 1 degree. It doesn't matter. I thought it was closer to half of a degree, but we're going to do it at 1 degree. And then I'm going to look up at the, I'm going to look at that picture again. And that picture again, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to say that there's 3. How about 3 degrees between the top of the sun and the clouds? All right. So here's the triangles that we're going to need to solve. We've got 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers to the sun, and then 1 degree right here. This little one is 1 degree. And we've got from the clouds, there you go, that's to the sun there, the same baseline here that we're using, that's going to be 3 degrees. So, and I'll do it in miles for you, Brian, because I don't know if you're ready for kilometers. Doesn't matter too much, but
just to save time, I feel like I let you enough in your own drawing. I asked for the number. I said disregard everything else. Just give me the opposite side height, which you have now. What I'm going to ask you is put me 3 miles above that cloud and show me that same math. Put me 3 miles above the cloud and give me another tangent and show me the math on that, dumbass.
I'm not done with this one, but you interrupted again. I knew you would. So, all right. We've got...
I don't have to answer. It's a fucking idiot.
All right. So A there is 1.6. All right. So this distance right here is, you ready? 1.6 million.
Ta-da! Now, if I'm 3 miles above the cloud, did it change to the sun?
I'm not done yet, Brian. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
3. So I need to get the other angle there, and that's going to be 4. All right. We've got right there 4, 8, 7, 0. All right. So here it is. Here is the corrected trigonometric relationship that you didn't quite get there. So you were looking at the linear elevation that you thought of the sun over the clouds, but you didn't project the clouds out to the distance of the sun. So when we do that, when we do it correctly, I told you that you did it wrong. This is doing it right. We've got the clouds, the projected position of the clouds is 4.8 million miles above the sun, which is 1.6 million miles.
This dude is so stupid, dude. Oh my God, dude.
You didn't
okay,
let
now
me
put
finish.
Me, now
just like
put
I said.
3 miles above the clouds, bro.
Finish.
Now put
right.
3 miles above the clouds and tell me how
Brian.
much the angle changed. Genius.
I did try to dumb it down for you a little bit, Brian, but I'm afraid that it was not possible.
No, dumb it down some more, bro. Please dumb it down some more. Now put yourself 3 miles above the clouds. Tell me how much that angle changed, genius.
Sorry, Brian. It's beyond.
Put yourself 3 miles above the cloud.
Yeah.
Take yourself off the ground and put yourself 3 miles above the cloud.
It's going to be the same thing.
Now tell me what's the angle change? Okay, so the sun is still 1 degree above the tangent of my feet. Correct, Toon?
Sorry, Brian.
Now the cloud's underneath me. The cloud's underneath me.
Yeah.
Right?
Brian,
the sun
what you've described is going to be another diagram.
I'm you horse shit for fucking 5 minutes. Now I'm asking you a simple
bit about perspective. That's the answer.
You guys still awake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, still awake, but like, there's nothing new
good for
here,
the-
is there?
Nah,
Yeah.
It's exactly what you're going to. That's the only thing you get out of Brian. This is all you ever get from him.
Yeah.
It's just
Misunderstanding and misrepresentation and not letting people finish their explanations. And it's just typical.
Even his question is not sensible. It's like,
No.
This guy, no, it's. I got to admit, I didn't think even Tim was trying to do something, but I don't think it really covered what the problem was with what Brian was trying to say. Because he just too fixated on this calculation he did rather than did I do the right calculation? Did he, am I looking at it from the point of view of the Earth? Where do we end up? It's like, you don't end up with clouds 1 million miles above the Earth.
Well, Brian has made a major step. He is now capable of actually running an online triangle calculator, which is something he couldn't do 2 years ago.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm rather impressed.
Yeah. He doesn't know what numbers he should be putting into it, but this is making progress. Yeah.
Well, he can't identify what triangle he should actually be solving for. But...
No.
No, he couldn't. he couldn't tell you how to find the tangent of an angle.
No, well,
if you held him at gunpoint, he has no idea. He really, it's distressing, I suppose, is the way to put it.
Yes, it's nobody's going to get into that right. Alan, I put up one of my pictures for you. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a Perth looking out. But it seems really odd to me because I look at this picture and I think that was looking the wrong direction, right? Because I'm so used to seeing it from my side of the country. But that's the sun.
That's a sunset, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's a sunset. I don't usually get it. Get a sunset over the ocean.
Can you tell me? Can
Yeah.
you tell me what month of the year that was taken?
November-ish would be my guess.
So that's also setting somewhat south of west, then, isn't it?
It probably
How
is.
the hell did the sun get there on a flat Earth?
I won't even see if I can find where I was. See if that's the case. I was playing nationals and hockey at the time, so it was definitely in November, back when I was actually physically capable of playing both of the level.
God, you're a brave man playing hockey.
Yeah, well, that's at national level.
I take it there were no females on the opposing team or your team.
No, it was the men's vets. It was the under 35s.
So somewhat safer then.
Yeah, I have played with women.
Don't ever play hockey with women.
I've had to a few times. Occasionally, I had to fill in as a goalie in a couple of women's squad. I always said it's actually quite disconcerting because they all wear skirts. So I don't know if you ever see how what happens when you're the goalie, so you're the furthest back, and then every one of them has got their back to you, and then when they're when they get set for something, it tends to they tend to crouch down. So, first time I played when I was much younger, it was sort of like, now keep your mind on the game.
What even if they are wearing them skorts things?
But it's okay.
Skorts, they call them.
Yeah, probably.
With the where they're actually shorts, but with a skirt sort of fitting around.
Yeah, there used to be a requirement that they actually had to wear skirts, and then they'd wear what we call scungies underneath them. But I haven't seen that for a while. But now they'll wear anything. So.
My daughter played hockey when she was in Air Cadets.
Right. Yeah, I was going to look something up.
She pretty near shattered someone's knee with a hockey ball.
Yeah,
she could be quite. Turns out she could be quite accurate with a hockey ball after.
Yeah, I've broken people's ribs and bones with hockey by kicking the ball out of the circle and they get in the way. A couple of times. It's not a little distressing, but I didn't deliberately kick at them. They generally run in front of you when you're kicking the ball out. It's not a good move.
I ended up a couple of times having to play hockey during training in the RAF, and there were a couple of WAFs in one of the other courses that was playing.
Yeah.
So one of the girls actually broke a hockey stick across my shin.
Yes.
When I heard the crack, I thought it was my shin breaking.
All right. Yeah.
Because it hurt as much as it had hurt the previous time I'd broken that shin.
Permission to share, Timbo?
Yeah, I can do that. Hang on a sec. All right. Share. Go for it.
All right. Check this out for underside of clouds.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is at a sunset. Check it out. Hang on. Let me go to it, and there you go.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it's night. Where did the sun go? Yeah, so I thought that's quite a good. You can see literally the underside of the clouds being lit there, and then all of a sudden they're not lit at the underneath. Why?
No, yeah. Why did it change? Yeah.
That's just light being reflected off those white ducks. That's all.
Yeah.
White ducks. It's all white ducks. Yeah.
Duck reflection.
Those ducks cause all sorts of problems.
It's weird, Paul, because I always get so much better sunrises for time lapses here than I do sunsets.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, every time I try and go out and do a sunset, a significant band of cloud forms down, is sitting down near the horizon, and the sun disappears behind it.
Okay.
I have to. Yeah, I just realised this. I'll just do a transition. This nice, pretty picture I showed you, right? I took lots of other pretty pictures, but I can't show you. You want to know why I can't show you?
Why is that?
Because I'll show you what was on the next slide.
Ah.
That was in the car park, the enclosed car park of the hotel I was staying at, and came down there. Yes, they'd stolen my camera out of the back of the car. Yeah, because obviously not being overly excited by that. It was a rental car too, which didn't help. And went to the someone's stolen out of the car in the enclosed, gated car park. Oh, can I have a look at the video footage that was of the camera right next to the car? Oh, no, that's been broken for some time. Oh, can you call the police? Oh, yeah, we don't use it. If you want to, you can call them. So, I'm not overly impressed with the attitude of the hotel. Also, like, oh yeah, that happens. Someone's, trespassed on our property, but we're not going to take any interest in it. So, yeah. Made a police report, but obviously nothing ever came of it, because, how do you track those things down? So, yeah. Digital SLR camera, lens, the whole bag, everything I had for my camera gear gone. So I do have some which were I'd uploaded, and some of these are from my phone. So Oh, don't know who that is.
Looking up someone's nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who that was. Someone's taking some picture, taking that. So that's at. Let's flick over to Google Earth. Let's see. Google Earth. There we go. Can do that. That was those sunset pictures was taken. Where are you going? Oh, there you are. From here. So this is Fremantle. So that would have been looking out that way. So I'd have to get the right time of year to make sure what we're looking at. But that's going to be that way. So I'll draw a line so you can see. So it's going to be.
Say, if it was in November, it has to be reasonably south of west because it's in the summer half of your year, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's got to be at least around there where that sun was. So definitely south of west. I could probably, but that might be. I'll see if I can track down some dates, just to confirm date and time where that was. But yeah. Anyway, well, I might draw it to a close. Then I don't think there's much more exciting stuff in that video to watch. The whole thing, it's 4 hours. And let's say 45 minutes, we'll take that off and discuss 3 questions maybe. But not a lot out of it, really. Anyway.
So we've had all sorts of dramas down here in Victoria, Timbo. We've had bushfires already.
Yeah. Did nothing in you, is it?
And they were praying for rain, and they got it. 6 inches, and now they're having floods.
Oh dear. Well, I had a mini flood today. I went to get my bike from work after work, and I walked down to where it was parked, and I couldn't see it. I thought, oh dear, someone's not taking my bike. I get closer, and my bike's on the footpath, like right up against the building. I thought, oh, someone's moved the bike. The where I had parked had flooded, and it was right next to one of the shopping centres, and obviously they were a bit concerned, and they went and moved all the bikes, and so at least I didn't have to get wet feet to get onto my bike. But it was a bit disconcerting. So walking down saying, "That's like, should be able to see my bike from here." It wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few thunderstorms go through. We had a few thunderstorms go through the previous night, and a little bit of rain, but apparently as they went further and further east, they got worse and worse, and they ended up dumping 6 inches of rain, 150 mils of rain.
That's a lot.
Overnight. Yeah. Wow.
So did you have any big floods anywhere, like damage wise, that is? Or was it just
the flood waters are rising at the moment, so
still going,
yeah. They're having to evacuate quite a few towns. Yeah,
because it does pick up pretty quick. So I'm just thinking where you're that catchment. So we're pretty lucky where I am, and flood's not a big issue here, but we do get damage. It has been a sudden change. We had big gusts of winds come through, and a few trees get knocked down, and obviously the temperatures dropped. It'll be back up again.
Yeah,
it won't take long. It's that sort of sudden changes we're getting now.
Yeah, you never know quite what the weather's going to be like,
Yeah.
Typical. If you're in Melbourne, they call it, it's like 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah,
literally.
We get that too. Yeah.
You mean typical British weather?
Yeah.
Well, do you get 4 seasons in one day with the? You probably would get up there, wouldn't you? So with the,
Yeah, but,
really good
a lot.
weather in the morning,
I mean,
and
it doesn't matter what time of year. But I have noticed that whereas we used to get, especially in the winter, we'd get lots of days of drizzle. So light that light rain that we tend to get over here a lot. We don't get that so much anymore. We now get shorter bursts of heavier rain. So we get the same rough amount of rainfall. It's just we get it over a much shorter period. And of course, that's really rubbish at doing things like filling the reservoirs back up, because most of it just runs off.
yeah,
Doesn't end up where we actually want it to end up.
when you say it runs off where? So I'm just trying to work that out.
It comes down, runs into the rivers, and buggers off into the sea.
Oh well, you got to capture it before it gets in the sea. That's the trick.
Yeah, well, we haven't needed to before, have we? Because it floods places badly.
There's these things where they put up this wall in these valleys that that collect water. They're quite useful for that.
Yeah, but we don't tend to do that. We don't tend to do that so much because we've never had to. We can put smaller reservoirs. We can put reservoirs where we want, and the rain falls in them and fills them up.
But couldn't you just block off the canals and then use that water, pump out of the canals? That'd work. But I suppose you put so much crap in the canals, you can't do that.
We don't have a lot. I mean, yes, we have places that have lots of canals.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have the city of Birmingham that has more miles of canals than both Amsterdam and Venice.
Yeah. But they've got it open to the sea, I would imagine. Birmingham must be. Just trying to visualise Birmingham.
No, Birmingham's right in the Midlands.
Well, that'd be said.
Birmingham's about as far. Birmingham's the big city that's about as far from the sea as you can get in the UK.
In the middle, yeah.
A couple of miles.
Yeah, it's about. I think it's about. I mean, it's not exact because the exact points I think over in Leicestershire, but it's a pretty it's pretty central.
Let's measure.
Because most of the water from that part of the country ends up in the River Severn system. So tends to flow out down there, down at the bottom
Down
of
this
the
way.
bit.
Down the Cotswold.
Between Wales and Cornwall.
So 142 k's that way.
Maybe it's gone as a canal tourism, not. Yeah.
Do you know that's Sydney's closer than it. Sydney's 300 kilometres from me. So I don't think you're even anywhere close to. Oh no, you go all the way down to here. I suppose you go all the way up to there.
Oh, look, driving down to the bottom end of Cornwall is soul destroying, because you get to Exeter and you think, great, I'm in the West Country because I'm in Devon. And then you realise that if you want to go to somewhere like Falmouth, and even if you're on a motorbike, it's still another 4 hours of driving.
It takes 4 hours to get from there to there. That's silly.
Because there aren't any decent roads.
Yeah,
it's
clearly.
It's like me. The nearest motorway to where I am is 100 miles away. The county of Norfolk is the third largest by area, I think, and it has no motorways in it.
Yeah, people everywhere, and you can't have motorways. I don't know.
Falmouth was quite nice. I went down to Falmouth with my son in 1992 on the motorbike to go watch the total solar eclipse we had.
Right.
Because that was pretty much on the centre line of totality. Didn't get to see much because it went all really cloudy just before it all started, and then the clouds all went away again just after it finished.
Not the way. There's people. It's like people.
England.
But it did get very dark. It did get really dark for the middle of the day.
Hey, you can tell Wales. Look at this. Wales has got hardly any roads. England.
Yeah.
You can see the border.
Well, go look at Norfolk.
Well, I would. Okay.
Norfolk's the bit. No, not that Norfolk. Not Norfolk Island. The original land of the North. The original land of the North Folk.
Where are we? We're up north, I assume. Hang on, get out of that.
No, we're east.
East.
It goes far east as you can go. Right?
Okay.
The furthest point east is actually in the land of the South Folk, but only just because that's at Lowestoft, and I'm just a little bit north of Great Yarmouth.
So I'm in Norfolk, or am I too far?
Yeah, I mean
Norfolk. Okay, yeah, Norfolk coast. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the whole Norfolk coast, and it goes all the way around until it's pointing south. Yeah. That's Lincolnshire. There you go. There's Norwich. There's
Hemsley.
I'm literally just on the very top edge of the map. You can see.
Uppy.
There you go. And now I'm in the middle of the map.
Yeah, so you're in here area.
Potterheim is the other side of the river from me.
Yeah. Okay. Broad. Hey, you know what I found the other day on Google Earth? The quantum realm.
Not a tuft of trees.
Oh, yeah.
No. Quantum plane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm south of the river rather than north of the river. The river's just at the top of the corner. But it's nice. It's generally quite green round here. Where's the quantum plane?
There were several of them. Here's one. This is the quantum realm. So if anyone asks, it's the quantum realm. There you go. Quantum realm. It's an apartment building in India. The quantum realm. Also, the quantum plane is also a place as well. Yeah, that's quantum plant. Quantum plane. Anyway, fun stuff. And what was scary is there's a guy called Tao who comes on Gem Server. There's lots of Taos in New Zealand. He's very annoying.
He is. He comes in and spouts garbage most of the time.
It's a what? It's not like you think, is he a flat earther? No, he's not a flat earther, but you know, he's not that far away from it. Some of them rubbishy.
Oh, Tao.
Oh, we got him. I think it was just go.
Yeah, Tao's Charles a funny guy, though. He must be, because he laughs at everything he says.
He was going on this afternoon, and someone was saying, "Oh, do I have someone muted? I can't hear who Tao's talking to." And I said, "Nah, he's just talking to himself, having a conversation." We got him yesterday. He was. I think Paul was there for that one. He was talking with Brian Mabbott and was telling Brian Mabbott how they don't pressurize planes anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what we said too. Huh?
Well, I have to say the last aircraft I flew in wasn't pressurized, but then, it was a Piper PA-28 and we only got up to 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
But he was quite confidently saying, "Oh yeah, no, they haven't pressurized planes for a month." I was like, "What?"
Tao said that?
Yeah.
Sometimes he does get things spectacularly wrong,
Yeah.
Well, certainly a way to cut down on the need for cabin service.
It was.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
all those unconscious people aren't about to need anything, really, are they?
But then he was doubting everybody, and he looked up and said, "Oh yeah, they've been pressurizing them since 1946."
Yeah, they're going to need an autopilot on that plane.
It was.
Yeah. Well, Payne Stewart had one, and it didn't help him any.
No. So yeah, and some of the things that come out. That was fun. Yes, Tao just makes these confident claims about stuff. It's sort of like he's decided. Like you can go to Alaska, Antarctica. Yeah, people go there. There's like 100 people there, and it's like there's a minimum of 1,000 people on Antarctica at any one time. But let's not let facts get in the way of his story.
Sometimes even the people that you think are reasonably smart come out with some real clangers.
Yeah.
Like Druss. Once he came out with an absolute pearl or a clanger. He was so sure that the pressure gradient in the atmosphere was caused by the decreasing gravitational field.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Really?
Man,
Really?
yeah. He thought, he was absolutely swearing black and blue, and I told him, no, that's not. Yeah, he goes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my God. And he was really trying to defend it until I explained to him, and even then he was trying to still say that it was that was the case, that the atmosphere got less dense because of the you're getting further away from the center of the Earth and the gravity decreases. He was trying to tell me.
Gravity decreases by a little bit, but
not enough to do that.
Yeah.
Not very much.
Not very much. No.
That's
okay. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. There's a minor, tiny effect there.
Well, gravity is involved. We can give him that at least.
Yeah. But to his credit, unlike a flat earther, he went away and researched it and then come back and said, "No, I was wrong, and I've been told, and I've learnt something new," he said. So,
yes.
Yeah.
There was a lady at work was telling me she used to believe that oxygen and gravity were related. That's why when you had no that's why when you went up into space where there was no oxygen you could float. And she was explaining how she had this miscomprehension about the reason oxygen and gravity were the same thing almost in her mind, that if you had lack of oxygen, you stopped floating. It wasn't until someone pointed out to you that you can have a vacuum on Earth and you're still stuck to the bottom of it.
That actually might make more sense than relative density disequilibrium.
Well, that probably would, yeah. So, anyway. Oh, it's getting late. I suppose I better head off.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to get up early in the morning. We're going to vaccinate another 2,700 ducks tomorrow.
Ducks?
So.
I saw a YouTube.
We've got to...
Lucky you.
Go, yeah.
We've got to do the boys, the drakes. It's about 1,000 drakes to do, and we normally do them about 2 weeks younger than this, but there's been things going on and a bit of a delay. So the drakes have gotten a bit bigger than when we usually vaccinate them. So they're going to be difficult tomorrow because they wriggle like crazy when you try and you got to hold them down to vaccinate them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be jumping off the table and wriggling, and it's going to be horrible.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I will let you head off, and I will wander off. I've got to try and get some plans. I lost about 2 hours of work this afternoon. The computer froze on me after we'd done all this design and worked out how to get all these angles right and stuff on a road design, and then lost the whole lot. I had to start again. So
you didn't save?
Well, yeah. Well,
doesn't it auto save?
No, not this software. Its autosave is to give you a reminder to save, but it just sits there. So
okay.
And it doesn't actually save, and it's like
that's not very helpful.
No. So Gemma's pretty stable, but I don't know. The whole computer just froze for no particular reason, and you just sort of get concentrating on what you're doing, and you don't. Unless you actually, go to another program or do something rather, you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
I clicked off to help somebody else mark, and I was going to mark up some drawings for him to do, and pulled up the PDF thing, and everything just locked up on me, and it was okay.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
start
that's
again.
what happens. You get involved in it. I do the same thing sitting here.
Yeah.
Working on a drawing, and I think in my mind, it seems like I've been working on it for 15 minutes, and actually it's been 3 hours.
Yeah. So you know the feeling, when you just keep going and trying to resolve this, and yes, I'll get this. And there was a bit of road with a roundabout, and some of the other guys had done. I was trying to work out what they did. And
The only good thing about losing stuff like that, at least it happens to me, that when that does happen, if you go back immediately and recreate it, or within the next day or so, you pretty much remember all the crap you had to go through to get to that point to begin with. So the second time through is a hell of a lot faster.
Yeah, so you took 3 hours, and it takes you like 30 minutes or 45 minutes to rebuild it. And you think, why didn't it take that time?
Yeah.
It's because you've solved all the problems. You don't have to solve them again.
Now, don't wait a week, because then you get to go through the whole damn thing again.
Tell you something funny, Timbo?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, the head of livestock in our company, like he runs all the breeder farms, the grower farms, the developer farms, etc. He's the head honcho. So he's sort of like not the CEO or anything, but he answers to the CEO, but he runs all the farms. And his thing lately has been safety, like workplace safety.
Yeah.
He's been saying at all the meetings, make safety a number one priority or whatever. We sort of hadn't heard from him for about a week, and no one had seen him or heard anything about him, or and everyone's wondering where he was. Apparently, he was doing something to the JCB, and he climbed down and he went to do unpin something, and he fell over and hit his chest on the bucket and broke 2 ribs.
Oh, dear.
And he's too shit scared to tell anyone about it because, make safety your number one priority.
In a nice way, and they can't say to you. He always comes and gets you. Okay, well, let's not hold it up. I will head off. I'll go catch us on the weekend if you're around.
Yeah, I'll be around. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Righto.
Okay. See you, Blue. See you, Ellen.
See ya.
Yeah, okay, see ya.
Oh, and see you guys out there. I meant to let them say goodbye before I kicked you off. Anyone who's still listening, I'll see you on the weekend. Yes, anti-vax ducks. Yes, they don't like being vaccinated. Trouble is, they can't do anything about it. So Paul gets to do it. Okay, see you guys. Oh, gotta find the right button. Where's my button? Okay, there you go.